In preparation for Jim's fireplace remodel, we did a full-scale mock-up so that we can understand placement of everything before we do the actual framing. First, to start out with, we did a 14-inch bump out from the wall. We were looking at 12 to 14 inches. For clearance of the actual fireplace, we need to be right in that range anyway. Wrapping around the corner here, we're 14 inches off of the wall, and then we're 14 inches to the edge of the bezel, which will offer some pretty good symmetry. I'm going to start at the bottom and work our way up so that you can get an idea of what the spacing is and the dimensions, approximate dimensions of each of the devices that are in the fireplace here. Starting off from the floor, this will be from the top of the tile or surround that we're putting on the floor here. We're 12 inches to the bottom of the bezel of the fireplace. The fireplace bezel is approximately 52 inches by 18 inches. The viewable area is approximately 48 inches by 15 inches. The black tape approximates what we're going to be looking at with the center of the black tape as the flame area. Right now we have a 9-inch gap to the mantle, and I know Jim was looking for something closer to 4 or 5 inches. The documentation is unclear on the minimums, but we found evidence that 9 inches is sufficient. We're going to see if we can change that number to get things a little bit tighter, but right now this visual representation is 9 inches to the mantle. The mantle, as represented here, is 3.5 inches tall. We like the idea of going approximately 4 inches wider than the TV for the mantle. It looked a little bit weird if it matched up with the size of the TV. It definitely does not look right if it's matched up to the size of the fireplace. From the top of the mantle, and again, this mantle, we were talking about a live edge concept here, and we can pretty much get that cut at any width that or height that makes sense. We're about 4.5 inches represented on this mock-up to the bottom of the TV bezel. And the TV, again, the dimensions of the TV are about 68 inches wide by 39 inches tall. And so that's what is represented here. This is going to be pretty much the viewable area of the TV that you're seeing in the black tape. And then the venting, just as a recap, there's going to be a venting system going from the top of the TV that goes up behind the TV inside the 14-inch kickout, and then it will all line up into heat output that is represented by that top black line. Now that top black line is about 5 inches above the TV and 5 inches below the ceiling in that range, maybe 4.5 inches. But what we did for symmetry is we have 4.5 inches above the mantle, then 4.5 inches to the vent, and then 4.5 inches again above the vent. One of the things that very clearly is excluded from this design as mocked up is that there is no sound bar in this layup. And we did have a sound bar on the wall previously, so if we want to do a sound bar, we'll want to accommodate for that and do some shifting. Other than that, the lighting doesn't need to be moved. It's at a sufficient distance from the wall, so that's not going to look strange. We're happy with the way that the power and everything is laying out. And I don't think we have any other concerns. We just wanted to run this by you all before we get to the actual framing.
The 46, did you talk about the 46 to the wall?
Yes, on each side of the fireplace, we have approximately 46 inches of space between the bump out and the wall. And that is symmetrical on both sides. We'll be pretty much dead center. All right, thank you guys.
Great.
Is that good?
Which one do I?
Stop.